Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is a quick update and analysis of the situation over at the Siversk Front. So at the Siversk is actually around here, this area here. So let's move in, and so you guys already know where this is. So at the Siversk Front, in the last quick update, which is posted on the DPA War channel, we have mentioned that the Russian forces have captured Mykolaivka. So let me go in again. This bugged out a bit. So Mykolaivka. So the Russian forces have captured Mykolaivka. So after this comes after the Russian forces captured Sakko Vantsetti. Let me make it more bold. Captured this town, and then they attacked outwards, and they captured Mykolaivka. This is actually should be a pretty easy capture, because with the capture of this town over here at Sakko Vantsetti, the attack is likely to go behind it, which is why the Ukrainian forces will have to withdraw, which is why it's a quick capture. I don't think there is very severe fighting. It's probably some early fightings which we have seen over the past 2-3 days, and then after the fall of this town, they realized it's not really tenable. They started to withdraw, likely to Fedorivka. And in the last report, the Russian forces are already attacking northward towards Fedorivka now. And on the other side, the Russian forces has been engaging the Ukrainian forces over at Rozdolivka, where the Ukrainian forces had been holding up pretty decent, with the Russians haven't been able to break close to Rozdolivka. On the other end here, the Russian forces are attacking towards Vantsetti, and currently it seems like they kind of hold the position. They did not really go for it now because of this change in situation. They only do bombardment of Vantsetti, and the supply route situation has been finished. As you can see, this road is already kind of controlled by the Russian forces. The Ukrainians cannot use it. As such, the situation in the Siversk Front is rather severe, where the reinforcement route is only through this road. You can see all these small roads along all these towns along this river, and there's only another one which is a highway that goes through Yakine to Siversk all the way to Liman. So Siversk is now under threat, because this route, let me show you, this is not usable anymore. So the Ukrainians have to go through this area. And the latest rumor suggests that the Ukrainian forces are withdrawing. So this is a rumor. It is not confirmed just yet. It's reported first by Ryba, and then after that it was actually in detail by Boris Rosin. So Boris Rosin reported that the acting mayor of Lysychansk say that the village of Bilohorivka has been so-called released. The word they use is released, probably given up by the enemies. So during the last day, there is reports of the Ukrainian forces withdrawing the troops from Bilohorivka, which is here, because of the situation here over at this region here. The developments here caused the withdrawal from here to move back. And so this video, I want to really explain a bit why this is happening. It's actually like a chess move. It's like, playing chess. Something happened on one end of the chessboard actually affects the other end. So let me explain. Because of this situation of the supply route situation, the Ukrainian forces currently, at this area here, they are defending all these fronts. They're currently defending all these fronts. And here, there is no really any major roads around this area here. There's just isn't. So as the Ukrainians will find it really hard to to defend this area here, they are predicting that the Russians will actually slowly progress up town by town, village by village, and they they will have this endangerment of this move where the Russians start to attack the rear, which is why the Ukrainian forces will have to consider starting to withdraw back towards Siversk, at least Siversk. Maybe they are not going to abandon Siversk, but there's this endangerment, and this on top of that, the Russians are actually putting pressure on multiple points. They are attacking from multiple regions, so all this situation is making it very tenuous for the Ukrainians to hold these positions if there is a breakthrough towards their rear. So this withdrawal is likely to happen, and this one is because the Ukrainians are also losing the fight further up north. So let me move these arrows down. Over in the Sibyansk forestry, the Russian forces are making advances from Dibrova and Crimea. They are pushing the Ukrainians. The rumors currently saying that the Ukrainians are being pushed back to their secondary line of defense, and this actually put pressure because the Russians can actually attack and at least just put fire control over this road between Srebrenica and Bilohorivka. So all these developments is looking very bad, which is why they are withdrawing. So the next line of defense is likely they want to hold on Siversk, and because Siversk there's still a major road, so the Ukrainians will have to protect Srebrenica very well as well. So this is the next line, and they'll probably try to hold this river line as well, because there is at least a reinforcement and communication route here. They will try to hold this. But any area around this region here, I don't think the Russians, the Ukrainians will be able to hold this area. They'll have to give it up, or they risk encirclement. Not to mention there is this possibility that this area here, sorry, wrong color. This area here might actually be Russian controlled. So the Russians have this possibility where they can actually route behind. If their defenses here is weak, so there likely to be some kind of a minor collapse in terms of the front lines for the Ukrainians in the Siversk Front. So I just want to preempt you guys. It's not like a major victory kind of thing. It's not like a major battle and then the Ukrainians get destroyed and routed, but it's more like the strategic situation for the Ukrainians demanded that the Ukrainians have to withdraw towards the Srebrenica kind of situation, or else and also Svatovoye-Porovsky, they probably make a stand over at Zvanivka. So this is more defendable for the Ukrainians, rather than trying to hold such a huge front where there is actually not a lot of major roads that they can use. For Mykolaivka, still not too bad. There is still a decent road here. Maybe they can try to hold this, and but if you look at the terrain, this is actually a high ground here, which is why the Ukrainians do have a serious entrenchment over here. And if the Russians are able to capture this, then they will be somewhat of on the high ground on Mykolaivka, and fighting from the hill downwards towards Mykolaivka would be rather difficult for the Ukrainians to defend, especially if the front line becomes this long, with the Russians attacking from multiple long frontal attack. So which is why I do not think the Ukrainians will hold this, despite there is this roads here. It is not very easy when the Russians are attacking in this kind of way. So which is why the natural kind of front line should be here. This is likely to be here, to be the front line next after the withdrawal. So which is why I just want to share this. I don't want the pro-Russian side to over-celebrate this. It's going to be like a mini version of the Kherson withdrawal, because of the strategic situation where the Ukrainians are unlikely to hold the defense here. It's just not wise to hold the defense here. With the capture of Mykolaivka and the attack towards Fedorivka, so this one is captured. The next attack is going to be to the western flank of Rozdolivka. So this will ignore all the major entrenchment and defenses that is actually facing the southward. So there's unlikely to be heavy defenses facing themselves, which is why the Russians is likely to attack from this side. So and then they will just put pressure. They just put pressure here to keep the Ukrainian forces here pinned. So the Ukrainians will feel the pressure and they will realize that they have to do a withdrawal to a more defendable line. And Fedorivka is actually a pretty small town. I believe that the Ukrainians will not be able to hold this town easily, and which is why the Russians decided to capture this and move. And if they move here, the forces here in around Rozdolivka will find it. They will have no place to withdraw to. As you can see, the road network here is rather shitty. So they'll have to go through this tiny dirt road here. You'll have to follow this tree line and go around. You have to go this way, around, wrong color, then around and towards Presne to escape, because this area here is likely to be under severe attack by the Russian forces now as things continue to develop. So yeah, this is a situation that you guys might be interested in. So anyway, this is just a quick update and analysis of the situation at Siversk Front, where a major withdrawal from the current front line for the Ukrainians to the next defensive line is likely to happen. And I'll see you in the next update.